Good day. This is Chuck Cameron at Oxford Community Television, and we hope you're having a good day. We're sitting in our offices this afternoon with Phil Castonia. Phil, you are head of our Parks and Rec group,
Yes.
and you're a neighbor just down the walkway from our studios. And it's good to see you again.
Good to see you. Good to be here.
Thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely.
You have any trouble finding the place?
No.
None.
Quick walk over. So
Good. The topic for today is a community input survey. We've been talking a little bit about that. Could you tell me a little bit more about why the community input survey is being put out there, what you hope to get from it, and then what you hope it will allow you to do?
Sure.
So kind of 3 steps.
yeah. So the community input survey is extremely important piece of a larger project we're in the
Okay.
midst of, and that's our 5-year recreational master plan. The previous plan has since expired. This will be a master plan that is for the Parks and Rec Department for the next 5 years. One of the critical components of the master plan is this community input survey. But the master plan as a whole is a critical part of our operation because it provides the guidance of where this department is and where it should go over the next 5 years. But also on the larger level, it then makes us eligible for state and federal grants. Right now, we are limited at what grants we can apply for without having this master plan on file with the DNR.
So you're saying that if we had a master plan, an updated master plan, that might enable the community to qualify for and maybe receive more federal or state money for grants?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah, the largest kind of pot of money in the state is the Natural Resources Trust Fund, which is royalties from oil and gas mining throughout the state. That's in the hundreds of millions of dollars that they have, and they award off of that each year both grants for development of existing parkland, but also acquisition of additional parkland. So having that master plan on file allows us to then qualify for those and help meet the needs of the community.
So that opens a door that right now isn't open
Correct.
for funding. That you could,
Absolutely.
I'm sure you might be able to use a few extra hundreds of thousands of dollars, eh?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
you could. So then that's what motivates this. Do we have an existing plan now?
We have an existing plan. It has since expired, so we can still use it for guiding us moving forward. But it was probably developed about 7-8 years ago. A lot has changed in our department and in the community since then. Hence why they kind of require a 5-year update every time to relook at the demographics of your community, relook at the recreation inventory, what's out there, who's else is operating, who you can work with. So this master plan is needing a customer input. It's a requirement to have citizen input for this master plan. Working with Carlisle Wortman, our township planners, they have put together this plan, the survey that's come out this week. It's probably about a 10-15 minute survey. It is a little lengthy. We tried to gather all the information we could if we're getting people's attention on the current needs of the residents for the Parks and Rec industry here. How are we doing with what we're doing, and then what aren't we doing well, or what do they want to see moving forward? So this request for survey is going to be the bulk of the master plan moving forward on what's attainable, what's realistic for us to go and get into.
So is this accurate then? Parks and Rec needs those of us who live here to take a few minutes to fill out a survey, because that helps you and the folks who are designing this plan to actually put together a plan that's not just a wish list, but it's a list based on what real people think they want and think they need. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, staff can give input all they want. I mean, but we're looking at it from a staff perspective. We kind of know what we want to do, where we feel we're short on facilities, where we're maxed out. But that's just a small portion of what the rest of the community wants. We want to be able to be a department that we can't be everything to everybody, but we want to be awfully close. So the more input we get from the residents, even the 5-10 minutes, if they don't answer all the questions, the narrative questions, and can just give us some of the multiple choice or any of the input's good, but there are some open-ended questions that, a couple sentences here and there would make a huge difference in providing that guidance of what community members are looking for. I mean, we've got community members who've been here a long time, who are happy with what they have, but also they think there's a few things they'd like to have. And then same with a lot of the newer residents coming in that are used to some of these attractions or facilities that they've seen elsewhere.
Yeah.
That helps the quality of life. So it's important for everybody of all ages, of whether they use our facilities or not, to give us that input.
You mentioned something earlier about how the communities are changing demographically. Do you see that there are families moving in? It seems like I see some new subdivisions here and there, which is always good news. Are there changes in our demographics here?
There are, and this master plan, actually the first part of this is a community introduction or background. That covers all of our demographics. The history of Oxford, the demographics, it takes a lot of census data on where we were back in 2010, compares it to where we are in 2020, and builds that community profile for us.
All right, so then you're asking, you're asking people to take the time, even if they would rather be watching TV or ironing their shirts. I'm sure there's a lot of that now, to fill out this survey. How would they get the survey?
So the survey, we're kind of doing a multifaceted approach the best we can.
Okay.
There will be an article in the Oxford Leader next week. It was launched live on social media today through the Township's Facebook page and through the Oxford Township Parks and Recreation Facebook page. And there will be reminders kind of every week with a quick link to it. It is an electronic survey that can be done on a computer, on a phone, but it's also available in paper, hard copy, if somebody doesn't want to do the electronic side. More than happy at our office to get them. We'll mail them out to people if they request it. We will take every approach available to get this out to people. If they want to give us the feedback, we will get them the survey.
I know you have a target date for getting these surveys back in. What's that target date?
Middle of July, I think it's July 21st, we want to get all of them back in. That will allow us to continue the master plan process and building the rest of that. We have to have all of the data done, the full report done, reviewed, public hearings, public input sessions through our commissions by the end of the year so I can get to the state by February of 2024.
So you've got a lot of work to do even after the survey is in.
Absolutely, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, the survey is a critical component of the community to get that input, and then we take that data to help build the rest of the master plan.
I sometimes smile at people who grumble about our political system, but may not have actually gotten out to vote last time. So in that situation here, would it be fair to say that it's important for people who want to have input in their community to go out there and find this survey and fill it out?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and on that topic, it's similar to voting. I mean, this is your chance to give us that feedback.
Sure.
By all means, not every idea or wish item that's going to be on that survey is going to come to fruition or be realistic. We were talking about how we are kind of maxed out on our space, and to build a new facility or acquire more parkland, there's going to take a lot of work to that. But we want to know if that's a need of the community, or are we good with what we're doing and we're going to maximize what we have? Those questions in that survey will help provide that guidance for us.
Would it be reasonable to think that if you see from the survey a real outpouring of interest in a new park or a new facility or a new something, that you could use that potentially as a leverage point to help go to the powers that be?
Absolutely.
And move in a direction of making that happen?
For sure. I mean, and our budget's minimal, so
Yeah.
we're not sitting on a lot of money to go buy a additional parkland. I mean, unless somebody's going to donate it, there comes at a cost.
You'd be willing to take donations?
Oh,
then?
absolutely.
See, this is a very generous person. Okay.
Tax write-off would be great.
It would.
Get us some more parkland, but some of the questions that I've coming up on my 1-year anniversary is the whole concept of a community center. That's been done a couple times here, and the voters have said no.
You mean it's been talked about and proposed, and that the voters have said we're not going to willing to fund it?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
So proposed as in, it was an idea, a concept taken forward to the voters for a millage or a bond to construct. And both times, I think the first time was like 25 years ago, and the last time was about 10 years ago. The voters voted it down. We respected that and moved on. But a lot of new people coming into the community are used to those types of amenities. There's some specific questions on that in this survey that will give us that feedback if it's something we need to put effort into again, or if we're good with what we have right now. So those questions are important to get that feedback, because that project, or trying to do that type of project, is very labor intensive and it's expensive with consultants. And so before we even broach that subject, we want to make sure if it's something the community is interested in.
Yes, all right. Well, we certainly appreciate it. Are there any other messages to our listeners and viewers that you need them to get about this survey and about your intentions to create an updated master plan for our community?
No, I mean, my only thing is just the call for some time to put that feedback into the survey. We can't make those decisions on our own without the community input. So if they can spare 10, 15 minutes, we just need it filled out once per individual. We don't need somebody trying to, load the system with multiple surveys, because that will get weeded out. But if they can give us that 10 or 15 minutes of that input, that's what's going to make this a realistic and valuable tool for us.
Okay.
It's a requirement to have the master plan, but we want it to be useful, not just a plan that's going to sit on the shelf.
Sit in the shelf.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that spirit, then, we look forward to challenging our viewers and the folks who in our community to take the time to take the survey, to get you the information, and we hope that you and your teams can keep doing good work for us in Parks and Rec, and maybe find some grant money that would help us and help you expand what you provide.
Absolutely, yeah. We're always looking to take it to the next level, next step up on what we can do to meet the needs of the community.
All right. Well, Oxford TV brings you all the good stuff. We thank you for watching. Phil, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you, Chuck.
We appreciate it. Get out there, fill in this survey, make something happen for Phil and his team. Until next time, Oxford TV, Chuck Cameron, we hope you have a great day.